Well, hi everyone. My name is Zach Sumner. I am the president of the OCCC Alumni Association Board of Directors. I'm really honored that you're joining us this evening. I know 5 o'clock meetings are always a little dicey, but it really means a lot to us. And I know we have some board members here too tonight, and I know it means a lot to them as well. So you would choose to spend some time with us. I think this will be a pretty quick meeting. Your alumni association was founded to do two things. One, raise scholarship funds, and two, promote alumni engagement. Those two missions are things that we take very, very seriously on the board. And part of what that looks like is every year in our bylaws, in our kind of our constitution, we are required to go back to the body of alumni and just check in and do an election and answer any questions that there may be. I don't know about all of you, but I like to imagine that a lot of you feel similarly about OCCC as I do, which is a lot of honor that I get to be involved with the college again in some way. OCCC showed me for the first time what a well-rounded and really prosperous life could look like if I applied myself. OCCC changed my life. Full stop. It changed my life. It made me a better and happier man. And it's such an honor that we have to meet with all of you again, even over Zoom, granted, but still meeting with all of you again. We're going to talk a little bit about what to expect in the coming year as well. Some cool events that we have going on as your Alumni Association Board of Directors. And then you'll have a chance to meet one of the other officers who's going to talk over some changes to the bylaws that we feel like we need to make in order to keep our mission going and keep the work we do going well and strong. But let me just say once again that we're so glad you're here. We hope you're excited about the direction of your alumni association, and we really hope to see you at one of our events. At this time, I would like to pass the baton over to Rochelle Mosby, who is this will come up later, who is our on our officer slate to be elected into the role of vice president. Rochelle, you ready?
Hi, I'm as ready as I think I'll ever be. Hi, like he said, my name is Rochelle Mosby, and we're just going to do a brief discussion about the bylaws. Madison Schultz did a wonderful job many months ago, putting the bylaws together. And then Fong also did a great job of kind of changing some things around and printing them out again. Basically, there's one thing that was removed. Section 3 was removed from the Article 1, which was just definitions of members. This is what a student is, this is what an officer is, this is, just basic definitions. If you want, I can tell you, like an alumni and is a graduate of OCCC, director is a member of the board. So those are already addressed in different parts of the bylaws. So those were removed. Some of the articles were moved around, like 5 and 6 switch places. So it's not that much of a deal. It's just, now you'll see, instead of seeing, let me go to it, board of directors was in one place, and now it's moved in front of the nominating committee. So anyway, what he was really getting at is that the bylaws, the amendment of the bylaws of the association may be amended by a ballot vote of 2/3 of the active membership present at the annual meeting, which is defined by Robert's Rules of Order. We're just trying to make sure that we can have a more retroactive approval going forward for our bylaws, for the things that we need to do for the committee. We also said any proposed amendment can be made effective where it has received the unanimous approval of the executive board. Such amendments will operate as if they have been passed, subject to the amendment being approved at the annual meeting. So those are just a few things that we have discussed, or we were going to discuss, we did discuss among the board. Some of the things, basically they're the same. It's still a free membership. We did talk about, well, no, we didn't talk about it, but it's in there. In the case of the office of president, vice president, no member shall serve more than 2 consecutive terms. I'm not sure where Zach is. If you're up to 2 terms, no.
I am not, no.
Okay, then that's not a problem. Also, electronic ballots must include the name of the association member who is casting the vote. So election of officers and boards members shall be by written or electronic ballot at the annual meeting. Balloting, well, it can't be in person because we're not in person right now. We're trying to get back to being in person because, with the COVID, we were forced to be apart from one another. It's been, basically Zoom meetings. So we're trying to get back together for our meetings. So basically, I've written a lot of stuff down, and I don't want to say too much. What we're trying to do is to make sure that we abide by the bylaws, but that we're also able to operate as a board within the bylaws, but not be held hostage to the bylaws just in case we don't have some of the, like if it says, you have to have a voting member, you have to have a director. We're trying to make sure that we can get things done within the bylaws without going too far outside of what the bylaws say. So we just we basically said that there is an amendment of the bylaws and that it's that we propose that it can be made effective when we have unanimous approval. So I think what I'm trying to say is as long as everyone there approves of the amendment, then the amendment will stand or that it will be effective. I know Zach had a little more to say about it. I didn't want to get it too muddied, and I seem like I just muddied the whole thing.
I think you did great, Rochelle. Thank you for that.
I just don't want anybody to think that we're trying to do something without approval.
Just to underline something that you said, which is a really great point. What we found, especially over the course of this past probably year or two, is the bylaws were important. They provided a lot of direction, but a lot of times they kind of tied our hands with how specifically we have to deal with things that come up. Like, as Rochelle said, like if there's an officer who steps down, or if we have to change a little bit about what each officer is supposed to do, and the roles that we would like them to have. And so Madison and Fong and Nathan and Rochelle really did a fabulous job simplifying and clarifying a lot of language in the bylaws that were kind of getting in our way a little bit. Is that fair to say, Rochelle?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're not trying to operate outside of any of the bylaws. It's just sometimes you need something to happen right away. And when I say right away, within a meeting or two, and you're kind of held hostage until you can, get the people or the person on board or get them there. But there's some things that we're looking forward to, a lot of things, like you said, especially the Hall of Fame Alumni Association Award. I like to give it this long name. It's the Oklahoma City Community College Alumni Association Hall of Fame Award Dinner. We haven't had one in a couple of years, so we are really looking forward to showing people that we are back, that we are active, that we're visible, we're present. We have a lot of students who are now back on campus, and I try to make I try to make sure that they are aware of the Alumni Association since I am on campus, especially the ones who are getting ready to graduate. I know a few of them who are, moving on to maybe OU, someone's going to Lawton, and they said they didn't know that we had an alumni association. So we're trying to get them involved because they're going to be the ones in a couple of years who hopefully step up and take over some of these things. But I know we were supposed to have had the dinner in, I'm so sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone. We were supposed to have the dinner in the first part of October, and that's been moved forward until this winter, I think January or February. So it's still an exciting thing. Still looking forward to seeing as many people that can come out, that will come out, and hopefully get some more things going so that people will know that we are here, we're here for you. I'm really excited about the scholarships too. So we're still active. I think that's the most important thing, is that people know that we are active and that we are looking for support and that we want to support them. And we want to do that all within, our rules, our regulations, and our bylaws.
Thanks, Rochelle. Great job. And with that, are there any questions? Are there any concerns? All right. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. We can adopt those bylaws. I believe now in the agenda, we have the election of the new slate of officers. To make this crystal clear, I'm running for re-election as your president, and Miss Rochelle Mosby, who just spoke on the bylaws, is running as the vice president, who is also the president-elect. Like in a lot of boards, we have that for kind of continuity. Want to make sure that there's a clean transition. And at this point, I think it's a good idea to turn it over to the lovely folks at the foundation, without whom this would not be possible tonight. So thank you, Evelyn and Vaughn, for that. If y'all are ready.
Sure. So on behalf of the Alumni Association, we would like to present the slate of officers. Zach Sumner as president, Rochelle Mosby as vice president, president-elect. And we could do that by a vote of the folks that are online with us. I have limited ability to see, so if you don't mind saying, for example, just say your name, Zach, and then whether you vote yay or nay, and then we'll just go on down the line, and so we have a record of that vote.
Perfect. My name is Zach Sumner. I vote yay.
Next.
My name is Madison Schultz, and I vote yay.
My name is Rochelle Mosby, and I vote yay.
Nathan Goad, and I vote yay.
Okay, Zach, do you feel like that's all present who are voting?
Evelyn, I think that I'm looking over at the YouTube, and it doesn't appear that would be any other alumni on right now that would vote other than the directors that are at the meeting now.
Okay, so the vote is unanimous, and that slate of officers has passed by a vote of the board.
Perfect. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate your confidence in this leadership team and in this board. I'll tell you, I have a really great board. Okay, believe it or not, we're nearing the end of our time. Okay, I just wanted to tell you, yes.
I do have a couple comments to make as executive director of the foundation that I'd like to share with you. For one, we will continue to advocate on behalf of alumni and sharing in the communications so that our alumni do know that this is a free association and that they could join. We want to be sure that our alumni is invited back to campus. There's so many changes going on campus with our new president, and we don't want graduation day to be the last day that they see the campus. So we will work in order that they know that they are invited back to campus. We will continue to send out a campus newsletter and continue to connect with them as part of our community. Secondly, I want you to know how committed Dr. Matra Jones is to the Alumni Association. She came from Langston University, where they had a strong alumni association, and she has made the decision to change the position of the alumni coordinator to an alumni director, and that is no small feat in a college to get that kind of change made, and to fund that more experienced, higher paying position so that we get an alumni director who has college experience and has experience in actively recruiting and engaging alumni members. This is a big step for the Alumni Association to have that level of a person who will be actively working under the umbrella of the foundation to engage members, to enroll members, and then to make them a part of our community. Vaughn and I are working on that job description right now. The wheels of higher ed turn slow, but we plan to have that posted before the end of the year and have someone on board first quarter, which will be a great way to start 2023. Sooner the better. We need that person to help with the Hall of Fame banquet. And so we're excited about that very positive change from the president.
Evelyn, can you tell us a little bit about the difference between a coordinator or the director?
Sure. Absolutely. A coordinator position is an entry-level position who is kind of the admin person for the Alumni Association, but then they get thrown a lot of other duties as assigned, which have nothing to do with the Alumni Association. And that person usually has a, very limited experience in that kind of position. A director position is someone who we will expect to have a certain amount of years in higher ed already. So they will have worked for an alumni association at, UCO or OSU or OU or wherever, that they will have some kind of college experience. So they will be able to come in and say, this is the software we need. This is the plan for the year. These are the events. This is the communication. And then when we find out people in the community, and we do this all the time, go to an event and someone will say, oh, I went to O-Trip for a few years when I first started, to actively put that person in contact with the alumni director, and they can go out, meet with them, have coffee, have lunch, invite them to join, give them information, and work closely with Dr. Jones on getting people in the community who are now successful businessmen and women to be a part of our Alumni Association.
Thank you. And you said that she's trying to get this done by the end of the year, so that going into the spring semester is what I call it, the January semester.
She's already approved the position and the pay, which once again is no small feat to get that done in higher ed. Already approved that. Vaughn and I, because we have the investiture coming up in November, it's all hands on deck for us. But in November, I would like to post that position. And in the perfect world, we would hire in December for a January start date. That's a pretty lofty goal. But that's what I would like to see happen. Keeping in mind, as you know, we're closed the last 2 weeks in December, so it's only a half a month for us. But if we could get someone on board at the beginning of the year, that person really needs to be there to help with the Hall of Fame banquet.
Okay. Will you keep us posted?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a question. Will this individual also raise money for our alum account for scholarships, or will it go towards the foundation?
That's another difference between a coordinator and a director. The director will be required to have some fundraising experience, where once again, a coordinator is kind of a admin person. The person will fall under the Office of Development and will be expected to also be a fundraiser. And that includes sponsorships for Hall of Fame. They will need to have experience in actively selling sponsorships.
But to your question, yes, obviously some of the fundraising this person would do would be for the scholarship or other activities for the association.
Thank you.
Zach, before we do adjourn, may I make just a quick comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to thank our IT folks who helped not only set up the Zoom, but also set up the YouTube, and Brian Fugit, who we see so thoughtfully entranced in thought there, and his team have helped with this. And I believe, Brian, am I correct? The video of this will remain on YouTube, so that if you have other board members who weren't able to be here, others that you want to share this with, they could go back and watch this broadcast on YouTube. Is that correct, Brian?
That is correct. It will stay up as long as you all want it up.
Excellent. So thank you for your help.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Agreed. Agreed. Thank you, Brian. Well, as we come closer to the end of our time together tonight, I just wanted to let y'all know about a couple events we do have coming up. To Evelyn's point, right? Once you're an OCCC alumni, you're always an OCCC alumni, and you're always welcome back on campus. So, and I think Rochelle also brought up the Hall of Fame. Right now, we're looking at February-ish kind of timeline. We'll firm that up and let you know in a newsletter when exactly that is, but I can promise you, you're not going to want to miss this one. This last year, we did a couple of OCCC Night at the Dodgers. It's a great chance to see some friends, see some colleagues, see some classmates, and raise money for scholarships. I think we're going to do some more of those again in 2023, so stay tuned for that. As Evelyn mentioned, Dr. Jones is a huge ally of the Alumni Association, and her investiture is coming up on November 11th. You do have to RSVP, but you can do that at occc.edu/investiture. Your alumni association has been trying to have more like mixers and happy hours and networking times. And I think we'll continue doing those into the future. I think we had 2 or 3 this year. I think we're going to keep doing those into the future. So keep an eye out for that. And finally, one of the best ideas my board's ever come up with, we are going to have a pet calendar contest sometime soon, probably next year, probably after Hall of Fame. But I'm telling you this now so you can take pictures of cute animals and stack the deck in your favor. When we started this meeting, Evelyn was talking about a picture of a cute cat. I want to see a cute cat now. If I don't go online and Google one, I'm going to feel off balance all day. And now that you know that a contest is coming, you too have the opportunity to snap pictures of your cute dog, turtle, bird, cat, whatever pet you got. We'll take it. Thank you all so much for being here tonight.
He is
Really
cute, Vaughn.
appreciate you.
He is very
And with
cute.
that,
It
I
will-
believe we are adjourned.
Be great. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
You.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks again, Brian, for sticking with us. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you the next time I see you.
That might be a good idea.
I didn't know what you do. Did you know did I have glasses on or not?
You had your glasses on.
Okay. Okay. But I do thank you. You are doing a great job.